Hi, I'm Angel Roberts, represent Pacific Career Technology High School Media Department. I'm here with Rachel Thoene, author of The Vase of Many Colors.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Did you write this story dedicated to your family?
Well, you know, it's interesting that you would ask that question, because the story originally transpired from an email that I was sending to a friend of mine in San Luis Obispo, California. She has 3 teenage sons, and one of her sons in particular was going through a rough spot, and she wasn't real sure how to relate with him, and was having a lot of kind of maternal heartache about the nature of the problems he was going through and her relationship with him at the time. And so I was trying to find a way to ease her burden a little bit and give her some hope at the end of that. And what came of it was this particular story. Mm-hmm. Well, then when I sat back with the story and I kind of fleshed it out and saw that I had something that a whole lot of people could relate to, I began to examine it as it applied to my own life. And so, yes, in answer to your question, I did dedicate it to my family, to my grandmothers, and to my own mom, and then to, in addition to that, to friends and aunts and teachers and mentors and coaches all along the way who have influenced my life, and then again to my own daughter.
Okay, so what made you write children's books instead of adult books?
You know, also a very good question. I wasn't sure I ever wanted to be an author. My first love and my passion really centers around my job as an educator. I'm an administrator at Vista Nueva Career and Technology High School here in the Grant School District in Sacramento, California. I love what I do. I love my job. I love interacting on a daily basis with students who are looking for a second chance, who are looking for some hope, who are looking for an opportunity to be successful. That's my first love. Okay. And so writing a book, be it adult fiction or children's fiction, was never ever on my radar. My parents are successful in writing historical fiction, but it's a lot of hard work, and I wasn't sure I wanted to go down that road, and then this story happened.
Okay. Well, a little bit about the book. What was the name of the small town in the book?
Well, it's interesting because I actually collaborated with an artist here in Sacramento, California, and both of us are from Fair Oaks. And in Fair Oaks, California, which is just kind of a suburb of Sacramento, there's the Fair Oaks Village. And so when he went to illustrate this story, he chose to represent the image of the small town using the Fair Oaks Village. Okay. When I wrote it about the small town, really what I had in my mind was the town that I grew up in, which is in Glenville, California. It's a very small cattle ranching community in the southern Sierra Nevada foothills.
Okay. So is the little girl you in the book?
You know, I think the little girl is really representative of all children. And children come in to this world with really happy hearts. Yeah, and it's not until they start experiencing things, it's not until they start experiencing failure and disappointment that they become kind of cynical and kind of jaded. And so I think the little girl, well, I'm sure there are quite a few people who would say that I was happy and bouncy, and certainly my daughter is happy and bouncy, but I think that little girl is representative of all children everywhere.
Okay, so in your household, do you have a vase?
We actually have several vases. I think when I think in terms of what is tradition and what is valuable in our family, there are certain things that have been handed down through the generations. In our house,
don't use the vase for a tradition in your house?
No, we don't really have a vase per se. We have other things that represent family tradition, but not a vase.
In the book, they have like the little horse was broken and a little cup that was broken, and they put it back together as the vase. So that was really nice.
Well, thank you for that. And really, you know, those are things that, as I've watched my own daughter Jessica grow up, we all get kind of clumsy sometimes, and we break things that are really important to us and to other people. The pieces of that brokenness really, when I was writing the story, represented the experiences that we go through while we're growing up, and the pieces become kind of the pieces of our broken hearts. You know, certain experiences that we go through in childhood lead our hearts to be broken. And there are people in our lives, we hope, that can take those pieces and put them back together. And certainly my own personal faith suggests that through Christianity, then there is my own Savior can take all of those pieces of my broken heart and put them back together and fix me.
Okay. So how did your brother feel about you writing this book?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not exactly sure how she felt. I know when she read it, she was really excited and very, very supportive. And this story, before it ever made it to the publisher, was shared. My dad took the story and read it at our Christmas dinner table this year. And the response it elicited from the people sitting around that table was really amazing. And everybody at the table, children and adults alike, had a different response to the story and some different experience that they had gone through as children. You know, it brought about some sort of a memory for them, and they were able to relate to the story from their personal experiences. My own mom has shared that, you know, she related to it in a way that, you know, she remembered her mother who passed on just in 2005. And just the way our Nana, that's what I called her, how Nana put things back together. Nana was so good about being loving and forgiving, and she was really good about mending a broken heart.
Oh, I call my grandmama Nana too.
Okay, so we can relate on
Yeah.
that. Okay.
If you was to write another book, what would the title be?
You know, I really don't know. I've kind of toyed with a couple of other ideas. I don't know. You know, maybe this is the only story I've got in me. I look at things from kind of a holistic perspective. I see life as one great big experience, and it's made up of kind of building blocks. And I meet people every single day in the business that I'm in who encourage stories and storytelling. I've had a lot of experiences in my life that would make great stories, I'm sure, but I'm not sure I have the determination and the discipline to sit down and write another one. I don't know.
Okay. So what do you do in your spare time when you're not writing books?
Well, actually, I run marathons. I do one marathon a year, and I run marathons because it's hard for me. I actually hate to run. I do it because it's hard, because I figure that if I can get my mind to overcome the pain, then I can do anything I want to in life. And I want that philosophy to be carried over to my own children. I want my own children, Jessica and Ian, to see that kind of philosophy and apply it in their lives. And I want my students to see that in me, that you can do anything you want to as long as you can overcome the hurdles in your brain. I have a horse, so I ride horses. I ride my bike. I go swimming. I love to read.
So you like sports?
I like everything. I really.
So you like jump down to earth?
You know what? Really.
Cool mom.
I think my kids would say I'm a cool mom, and most of my students would say I'm a pretty cool administrator.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Where's your hometown located? Is it Fair Oaks or what did you say?
Glenville was
Yeah,
that first. I was raised in Glenville and spent a lot of time there. That was where all my growing up was done. I went away to school at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo on the central coast of California, and then I moved here to Sacramento. I teach here in Sacramento, and I live in Fair Oaks, which is also part of Sacramento.
Okay.
So this is home now.
Okay. So when did you start writing your book?
This one, actually, like I said, it was about 20 minutes, and it was in an email to this friend of
It
mine.
only took 20 minutes?
It only took 20 minutes.
Oh,
it just,
wow.
It was a story that kind of wrote itself. And I've collaborated on some other projects in the past with my parents, but I haven't done that for a while yet. I kind of have the education bug, and so that takes up all of my time. And when I'm not doing that, I'm doing all those other things.
Oh, 20 minutes. Okay, well, that's all the questions I have for today. So thank you very much for coming to Pacific.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Angel. All right.